sometimes I feel it's hard to get it in before kickoff. So just let it kick off, and then I'll throw to you. If you haven't done them already, I'll just in the first 2 minutes of the game we'll do the lineups then. They in the tunnel already. Fucking wind that's gonna fuck this video. Round 5 continues in NPL Victoria for season 2021. It's a nice and sunny but windy day here at Churchill Reserve. It is the St Albans Saints taking on Eastern Lions in a game between the two sides that were promoted for the start of the 2020 season. They did meet last year in this exact same fixture for a 0-0 draw in the end. My name's Adam Sarikoglu, and Josip Herzog is alongside me for the first time in season 2021. Josip, it's good to see you again, and this is a fairly big game between two sides. Well, one that's had a particularly good start to the season, as we have got a moment silent here. But Josip, welcome to the coverage.
Thank you very much, Adam. It is my second game, actually. I was on last week. It's our first together, that's correct. It is our first together. Last week I was on with Chris Gleeson. Was my first one for the 2021 season, but I do just see that there has been a change in the St Albans lineup, just by having a look at the numbers, because we are here on the far side next to the camera. It should be a good game, Adam, because these two sides have met 4 times in the last 2 years, and 18 goals between the two sides in the 4 games, so that's absolutely staggering. Of course, both of these sides won their respective NPL 2 divisions, both East and West, in 2019, and faced each other for the NPL 2 championship, with St Albans taking that one at Jack Edwards Reserve. It should shape up to be a good game. Both sides are quite attacking minded. But just having a look at the St Albans bench, they are starting to get a few injuries that have hit their team, and I think we could go through the lineups here, Adam. For St Albans Saints, number 21, Matthew Shesto in goals, replacing Shane Vitikangas. Number 3, Christopher Dibb. Number 4, Jordan Wilkes. Number 5, Adam Hodor. Number 6, Bradley Murray. Number 11, Joseph Monick. Number 12, David Sims. Number 13, Šime Brzoja. Number 14, Stefan Baričević. Number 19, Marko Bagaric. And number 20, Mate Barisic. Of course, Šime Brzoja was the late addition, replacing number 9, Darren McCauley. We're not sure what's happened there. And for the Eastern Lions, number 1 in goals, Keegan Coulter. Number 4, William Ellis. Number 5, Sevdim Ismaili. Number 7, Ziggy Razuki. Number 10, Christopher Drutzis. Number 11, Dennis Daluri comes in to replace Sunny Zijai. Number 16, Sean Kenny. Number 17, Nathan Sim. Number 18, Kostas Stratomitros. Number 23, James Doyle. And number 47, Yanis Georgopoulos. We have kickoff here at Churchill Reserve, Adam.
So the St Albans Saints in their home blue kit. Eastern Lions choosing to go with their black and white away kit instead of the usual all red for this round at 5 clash, and they will attack toward the left of screen as you're watching us on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages. An early throw going the Eastern Lions way. So as I said, Josip, these two sides did meet as the two new promoted sides in NPL Victoria last season. It was the final rounds before we unfortunately did lose the season to COVID-19. It was a 0-0 draw on that occasion. And St Albans have really started this new season well, entering the round 5th on the table. 2 wins, a loss and a draw. Of course, the Eastern Lions, they scored their first win in the top flight a couple of weeks ago at Port Melbourne, coming off a 2-1 home loss against the Dandenong Thunder in round 4 as we wait for a new ball and another throw on this outer side for the Eastern Lions. But it has been a very good start to the season for St Albans.
Yes, of course, it has. St Albans, they did start the season quite well last season. Of course, losing Oliver Bassett, losing Joseph Conyet, losing Michael Grgic, their club captain, just before the season with an ACL injury in training. So they did lose some key players, especially you see Matthew Kandari as well. So it was really a test of character these first 4 rounds to see actually how they're going to do with what you could call a makeshift squad, losing basically the base of their team.
So, as we said before kickoff, it is a very windy day here at Churchill Reserve. It is blowing mostly toward the end that St Albans will be attacking toward this right-hand side of Churchill Reserve. So, you'd expect this kickoff to carry a fair way. The kick from Shesto going to halfway. First real chance for St Albans to get on the attack in this game. It's currently Murray. Baričević. But there to meet the ball was Doyle, who's been stern in defence for the Eastern Lions so far this season. This ball will be easily collected by Keegan Coulter.
Yeah, it's interesting how you say that there is a bit of a wind, which may actually impact the game. You said St Albans get to use it in the first half. Be interesting if they really do try to push Adam Hoda on the right and Joseph Monick on the left-hand side to see if they can get a ball in behind the Eastern Lions defence to take advantage of the wind. Of course, Mate Barisic in the middle, a very capable striker. He's young. You could say he's still unproven here in NPL Victoria, but does have a good rig on him and can hold off defenders.
Stratomitros across to Doyle. Last home game for a while here for St Albans. We were just told before kickoff, Josip, that the grounds will be resurfaced, and when they do come back home in 5 weeks from now, brand new surface here at Churchill Reserve. Does look okay the way it is, but a stretch of away games coming up for St Albans. They'll want to make the most of it. This being their last home game for a little while. Of course, next week as well. All Wednesday night games, so short turnaround for all of these sides entering round 6. As the ball's left behind there by Hoda. This is David Sims, one of the new inclusions today for St Albans. Gets it back Good solid structure though the Eastern Lions had set up, and there was no way forward in the end for the Saints.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, David Sims, he was a regular starter last season when the season kicked off. He's a youth product of St Albans, but he just had a bit of a niggle to start the season, and he makes his way back into the starting lineup today, which will be very interesting to see how he fares on the right, working with Adam Hoda there, who's on the ball.
Here's a chance here for Sims, but Rizuki is there for company. And we'll see which way this call goes. It does go out for a goal kick. And Keegan Coulter, who is wearing the headwear as he looks into the sun in this first half, will have to go and retrieve the ball. So as I said, 5th on the table coming into round 5, St Albans. Eastern Lions are 12th. A win, a draw, and 2 losses after going down. Well, they were up 1-0 at half-time last week against the Dandenong Thunder. Conceded 2 second-half goals for what ultimately was their second loss of the season. Coulter has Rizuki in sight. Ball was just missed there by Sim. Georgopoulos saw a man out wide, but it was a wayward pass, and St Albans will get the ball back just behind halfway.
Yeah, you mentioned Eastern Lions. They've been doing well so far. I mean, maybe the ladder doesn't show as good as they have been playing. That first game against Bentley Greens was really tough. They didn't play too bad, but Bentley Greens were just showing their class, and maybe just too many defensive spills there from Eastern Lions. But the game against South Melbourne, they showed what they're capable of. They scored 5 goals so far this season. All the goals, 5 goals from 5 different goal scorers, mind you. And the only one that's not on the pitch right now is Aaron Fabris, who is on the bench, who did score the first goal of the season. That was the gorgeous chip against Bentley in the first round. He got onto the ball and chipped the goalkeeper. So it was good to see that they've got some talent, but it's just about getting those likes of Georgopoulos and Rizuki on the ball. Drutzis, of course, very capable in the midfield. See if they can create something and just penetrate through this St Albans defence.
Chance again for Hoda, but Sim did well. Won the physical tussle between the two of them. It's gone back to Coulter. And now Doyle. Looking into the late Saturday afternoon sun. Turns it over though, and another chance here for St Albans to go onto the attack. Hoda's waiting for it in the area. Ball's popped up. Alice needs to deal with this. Got some help eventually from Sim. Only as far as Sims. There's a Sim and a Sims out there today. Another ball forward this time from Murray, but no real danger in the end for the Eastern Lions.
Well, yeah, the ball came to Hoda inside the box, and even though it looked like he was scrapping to get back into it, he did seem to slip there. So great work from the Eastern Lions defence to keep that attack at bay.
So can the Lions set up an attack of their own? It's Drutzis, who has been good to start this season. Georgopoulos. This is Deliri. Got some late assistance. Now Drutzis again. Had no real room to work with. It'll be a St Albans throw. Near the corner flag. So 7.5 minutes in at Churchill Reserve. Didn't get a score in this fixture last year. Already a couple of times where we saw St Albans in particular go on the attack and couldn't fire a shot away ultimately, but they've done more of the attacking so far. Coulter on the last line of defence. This is Stratomitros and Doyle.
Well, you just look at the conditions around, as you said, the wind, but Keegan Coulter, as you can see, he's got the cap on. He's facing against the wind and against the sun, and the sun is shining bright currently. We've had a bit of rain today, a few drizzles, a few heavy rains, but classic Melbourne weather.
Yeah, we did look at the radar before kickoff, Josip, and looks relatively okay. Might get a little sprinkle or two during the 90 minutes today, but right now, you can't really complain. Unless you're Keegan Coulter, of course, you can't really complain. It's a nice day here at Churchill Reserve. This throw is going to go St Albans' way and be taken by David Sims. His ball intended for Barisic. Murray tried to pick out Sims at midfield. Going in heavily and winning the ball back was Kenny. The skipper leading by example. Now Deluri inside the area fires a shot. Easily dealt with in the end by Shesto. Here's Sims again, who's been busy to start this game. Last touch has come off St Albans that time. Willie Malice to bring the ball back into play. In front of the St Albans bench, this is Deliri. A couple of Saints on top of him. Alice again. Turns the ball over. A lot of players in a tightly congested area. And they retreat all the way back to the goalkeeper this time, St Albans.
Yeah, you mentioned Dennis Deluri. I used to know him as Dennis Yongle, actually, from Geelong Soccer Club, but he's been around the traps in the NPL, previously playing for Green Gully here in Victoria, also playing for Brisbane Strikers up in Queensland, and he's also been able to make 4 appearances for his nation of birth, South Sudan. So we've got an international player here today. He was in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, actually playing for South Sudan back in 2017, I believe it was. So it'd be really good to see him. It is his first start for Eastern Lions this season, so it'd be really good to see how he fares. He's been on the ball a couple times. No promising signs yet.
Ball intended for Barisic, but it was dealt with by Alice, and now a free kick's going to go Nathan Sims' way. Stratomitros takes the free kick. Georgopoulos and now Alice. Ziggy Rizuki hasn't been involved too heavily just yet, the Englishman. Here's Stratomitros. Across to Doyle. Doyle's long ball. Nowhere near Nathan Sim. So we've had 11 minutes of these two sides feeling each other out. One half attempt at goal for Eastern Lions that was very easily dealt with by Shesto in goal. The only real, I suppose, half flashpoint so far, Josip. Yeah,
you've had a few chances going either way, nothing too concrete really. But like I said, Eastern Lions really got to show that they can score goals. As I said, we've got 5 goals in 4 games, so it's not like they're not capable, but they just got to turn them into results. They got that win. You were there, commentating that game. I believe it was against Port Melbourne, back in round 3. They go on the attack here.
An eventful game, that one 15 days ago. Here's a chance for Eastern Lions again. The danger not averted completely yet, as Sim tried to fire a shot away and then a follow-up, but St Albans have plenty of bodies between the ball and the goal, and they will come away eventually with no harm done. A little push there on Barisic, winning the free kick for St Albans. Quickly taken. Hoda looking to cut in board. Murray, not a great first touch, but still a chance for St Albans. Hoda can't get a touch there. And through to Keegan Coulter.
Well, there's just what Mate Barisic is capable of, the number 20, the centre forward there for St Albans. The ball came into him, he held up the ball well and waited for the run of Hoda just too far. Hoda tried to get onto it, but promising signs for St Albans.
Saw that ball hold up in the wind significantly. St Albans will take the throw. Again, Barisic, who has been a major presence in this game so far, goes all the way back to Shesto. Jordan Wilkes, the captain. First time ball. Free kick quickly taken here by St Albans, and it's going to be claimed by Monak. Hansa finds a way around Ismaili. Monak goes and wins it back for St Albans. This is Dib. Baricevic under some pressure from Georgopoulos. He'll get it back here. Baricevic has Ziggy Rizuki to deal with, who has hurt himself in that challenge against Baricevic. Play does continue. Hoda sending a long ball intended for Monek, and he does find him. Play continues here, and a missed header by the man who wasn't on our starting 11 initially, Josip Herchog.
Yeah, Shimon Brzoja has come in. He did make his debut appearance off the bench against Bentley Greens. It is his first season in senior NPL football, so maybe he's just trying to find his way. That would have been a great way to mark yourself in your first start at home to put your team up 1-0, but you just see the way St Albans in the last two attacks, they've gotten the ball here from the right back position, and they've looked for Joey Monek up in left wing. Twice he's gotten to the ball. The first time he couldn't really control it, but the second time he did, and he brought that beautiful ball in for Brzoja. Maybe Brzoja was a bit too keen. He looked like he really got too under the ball, and that's why the ball flew over the bar. But positive signs, and Eastern Lions are really going to have to watch out for that threat of Joseph Monek up on the left wing.
So Ziggy Rizuki back out there, still trying to shake off a little bit of that pain from the challenge, and we'll have an Eastern Lions throw here to be taken by Alice. 15 minutes played here at Churchill Reserve. Hoda. Ball's popped up in the air. Dealt with initially by Sean Kenny. It's still Kenny now. Ishmaeli wanted Deluri, but the pass just a bit wayward.
Well, you speak of Ziggy Rizuki there. He scored a fantastic free kick goal with his left foot against Port Melbourne Sharks. You were there commentating, as I said, but he's got a master's degree in marketing, mind you, and he's a media and communications manager at a small, you could say, I wouldn't even know what to call them. They're called Igniting Change. So I guess they're like a movement company or something. But we should maybe get him on the streams if he gets injured or something. He looks like he's got a media and communications background, and he's also a prominent podcaster. He's got a podcast called Wavelength Projects. He's a prominent meditator, and looks like a very, very happy and peaceful man.
Get onto a Zappers if you're listening. Hopefully Ziggy Rizuki does have a major impact, as he already has had with the Eastern Lions. A big chance here now for St Albans on the counter-attack. It's one-on-one with the keeper. Keegan Coulter did very well, saving the day, and the ball is cleared away. Big chance goes begging for St Albans. And now the Eastern Lions looking to establish their own counter-attack here. It's quickly taken by Rizuki. This is Deluri. Maybe had his shirt tugged initially by Wilkes, but still has it. Does Deliri. Might get it back here. It's cleared away now, but Josip coming back to that chance, gone begging for St Albans. That was very good goalkeeping by Coulter in the end. Yeah,
well, once again, Mate Barisic involved. He received the ball from Monek, and gave the ball back, and Monek, when he looked like he could have taken the shot with the left, cut into the right boot, chased the ball, got the shot away, but as you said, Keegan Coulter made himself a large presence, stayed low and made the save. Best chance of the game so far.
Doyle's going to retrieve this ball at midfield. Stratomitros, and now Alice, his first time ball. Ziggy Rizuki was not where he thought he might have been. So 18 minutes played here at Churchill Reserve. A high intensity game so far. Right now it's Barisic who loses possession. Alice again to take the throw for the Eastern Lions.
Once again, Barisic just trying to really hold up the ball, hold up the play, but there was maybe a bit too close to the touchline, got pushed off it.
Ball's pinballing around there. It falls Eastern Lions' way again. Rizuki has lost his footing again. The throw is going to be quickly taken here by Sims. First time touch by Murray, doesn't find a teammate. Ball popped up in the air. That was a heavy landing for Kenny. Still a chance here as Sims looked to set something up, and Monek couldn't get on the end of it. Quick counter-attack for the Eastern Lions here. Jutsis. Rizuki with some space on the left wing. It's Ziggy Rizuki. Can he pick out Deluri with that ball? Just a bit too much on it. Might still be a chance here. Sim. Near the corner flag. It's gone out. It'll be an Eastern Lions throw. So we're now starting to see a few more attacks. Shesto eventually collects it for St Albans.
Yeah, the game's opening up nicely, but I'm just having a look at Ziggy Rizuki. He's really limping around. He's clutching at his left hamstring from that challenge that happened prior. He just does not look like he's comfortable. Even when he fell here, he did get up after a couple of seconds, but he did clutch at the hamstring, as I said. So really going to be interesting to see how he turns out in this game, and if the Eastern Lions are going to be forced into an early substitution.
St Albans free kick. This is Wilkes. Hoda. Back to Wilkes, and he might need to go further back. Rizuki looking to intercept that ball. It's up for grabs here. Clear toward that outer wing, but not able to control it. Monek. Eastern Lions throw. Nothing obvious on offer for Ismaili. Scored a great goal last week against Dandenong Thunder. Here's Alice. Rizuki once more. Missed his initial target. Now Kenny gets it back. Georgopoulos making a run on that right side. Ismaili left it behind. Monek was right with him the entire time. And Jutsis went in to retrieve the ball but gave away the foul.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of a change in momentum over the last 2-3 minutes. Eastern Lions really trying to push the game up to St Albans. They're not trying to sit back and wait for St Albans to attack them, especially with the wind. That can prove quite dangerous. So the Lions are really putting their best foot forward so far, especially now. But you see St Albans are just trying to slow the game down. I think Kruni Razov and his team have noticed that, so they just want to slow the game down a bit and make sure that they're the ones controlling the tempo and not the away side.
So even though this wind is at their back, St Albans are keeping it in tight quarters at the moment. Now the longer ball from Wilkes. It was Brazoya going down and earning the free kick for St Albans just over halfway.
Yeah, interesting with Shimon Brazoya. Happy to see him on the pitch. He's actually one of my old junior teammates back at Melbourne Knights. We played a fair few years together, so good to see another one of my old teammates up in the NPL ranks. Because I've got a fair few, believe it or not. Caleb Mikulic, Anthony Dezic, Nikola Jurkovic, Harry Chakarun. They all played in my junior team back at Melbourne Knights, so really good to see that generation bring out at least half a squad of senior NPL players.
He got involved again there. Monek goes down just outside the area, some heavy contact, and that's our first booking of the day. I could hear that contact from here. And now St Albans are looking at potentially a set piece here.
Yeah, well, that was a good little attack there from St Albans. Once again, Joseph Monek proving his worth out on the left wing. Lucky enough for Eastern Lions, though, that one was caught just outside the box. It had to be conceding a penalty 23 minutes in, especially here at Churchill Reserve. The pitch is one of the smaller grounds in the NPL First Division, but it'll be interesting to see if they can conjure up something here, the Saints.
Incoming ball, it's an outswinger. Going up early, Barisic, here's a chance. Is the offside flag up? It is. Christopher Dibb did find the back of the nets, but it stays 0-0.
Well, Christopher Dibb, an addition this season for the St Albans Saints. He did come up with the winner against Melbourne Knights 2 rounds ago, so that would have been a great calling on his behalf if he could have stayed on side there, but the ball did really snap at him, so he couldn't really do much about his positioning. But good early signs from both sides. As I said, this fixture has provided 18 goals in the last 4 meetings between these two sides. But as you did say, Adam, last one was 0-0, so we're hoping to not see that one come out tonight after the full 90 minutes.
Halfway through his first half here, Georgopoulos getting another touch for the Eastern Lions. Drutzis losing the ball. Monek again trying to get on the end of it and does eventually win the ball. Monek, he has been good in these first 23 minutes so far. Brazoya falling over. It's one back for the Eastern Lions, out to Ziggy Rizuki. His first touch was okay. Working on Sims. Rizuki, he's done very well. Cuts inboard Kenny. There might be a chance here to Lurie. It's not going to work out this time for the Eastern Lions. Easily collected by Shesto. We are seeing both sides really attacking hard at the moment, Josip.
Well, I completely agree with you there. Sims done really well to hold off Ziggy Rizuki. As we said, Sims, this is his first start back in the St Albans Saints senior lineup, and he's been doing well so far.
We're going to see Monek get involved again. The long ball coming from Hoda. And just a little too long, in fact, in the end.
Well, and now looking back at it, you probably think he should have left it there. Let it run out for a throw-in. Would have been easier to just box Eastern Lions in. But now Keegan Coulter, as you said, against the wind, you're going to see the ball really dip once it reaches maximum height. But Eastern Lions can really... if they could really do something here, especially with their wings, it would be really good for the away side.
This wind's starting to pick up. You might be hearing that in our effects, Mike. Hoda, it falls his way. Chipping ball over the top. It's going to be collected by Coulter on the bounce, just at the top of the area. Berisic was breathing down on it. Long ball intended for Rizuki once more. Doesn't have much help. Wilkes will get there first for St Albans. It stays in play, does it? No.
Yeah, you mentioned a win there once again. I think St Albans will be using a lot more of the long ball for the rest of this first half, and then you'll see Eastern Lions using the long ball in the second half, especially if the wind continues this afternoon.
Shesto sending the ball back down the pitch. Berisic couldn't trap it. Kenny emerged with the ball. Doyle and now Stratomitros. Intended for Rizuki, but Hoda gets in the way. He's on the attack again. Brazoya. Back to Hoda on this left side now. We've seen him on the right side predominantly throughout this first half so far, combining with Monek. Ball has come back to Bericevic. Here's Hoda once more. Holding things up for the time being. Eastern Lions stern in defence, and they do win the ball back, although Drutzis was challenged by Hoda, and the free kick is going to go St Albans' way.
Yeah, we just saw, as you said there, Adam Hoda going out onto the left-hand side there. St Albans having both of their wingers on the one side, but then I did see David Sims, the right back. He did come up. I was asking for the long ball there from Hoda when he had a second, but didn't come across. But they're going to have a good opportunity here, especially with Stefan Bericevic. He's a good long-range... he's good at the long range, hitting the targets, and they come up here. It's Buddy. Ooh, that was Marko Bagaric who had the header. He did score in the first round for St Albans, but wasn't able to find a target there.
That's 2 missed headers now for St Albans. It was Brazoya about 10 or so minutes ago, and you said that you played a lot of junior football with him, Josip. How would you have handled that relatively easy chance going begging?
Well, with a bit of a less of a crowd, maybe less of a camera, less commentators, there's less pressure. But I believe, I never made my senior NPL debut. I played one game in NPL 2, but it's really nerve-wracking, especially to make your debut in front of such a large, passionate fan base and crowd at Churchill Reserve. But it was unfortunate for Brazoya, but he's been getting on the ball pretty well. He's been showing signs of potential. There are areas where he's lacking, especially holding up the ball. We've seen him fall down a few times, but as the game progresses, as you get more minutes in the legs, you start to become more confident in your abilities, and pressure ceases. So it'll be really good to see him get on the score sheet here tonight.
Just lost the sun for the time being behind the clouds. That'll help Keegan Coulter, no doubt. Still wearing the headwear for the time being. It's come back to Stratomitros. Goes to Doyle. Doyle trying to set up Deluri, and actually found him. The ball just held up in that breeze nicely. So now it's Dennis Deluri just outside the area, getting some help from Drutzis, who cuts back in board. Little touch there by Sim. St Albans man's gone down, and indeed it is a free kick going the Saints' way.
And just to update you on the previous game that was played today, Avondale FC played against Melbourne Knights, and Avondale got a late lead in the 78th minute through Yusuf Ahmed, and then Caleb Mikulic coming up once again. He's really proving himself as the Melbourne Knights talisman. 2 minutes into stoppage time, he came up and scored an equaliser for the Knights, so 1-1 there between the two sides.
Josip's just lost his notes out on the pitch, funnily enough, and he's absolutely devastated. He did a lot of hard work on those notes, so at least for the rest of this first half, Josip, I guess you're on your own. It's very, very windy here, as I said. Here's Sims. Has Rizuki right behind him, and Rizuki applying that pressure. Wins the throw for the Eastern Lions. Josip's actually just gone down away from the commentary area, and he's retrieving his notes now from the Eastern Lions coach, Daniel Pascuzzo. That's how windy it is here. Play does finally restart. Alice going to ground as he collides with Hoda, and that is a free kick for the Eastern Lions. So now we saw St Albans in a very similar situation a couple of minutes ago. Rizuki, we know how dangerous he can be in these sorts of situations. Talking it over with Chris Drutzis as we speak. It's Drutzis who sends the ball in, and just over the crossbar it goes. It was flicked over the top, maybe by Doyle. It did take a St Albans touch. We've got a corner. Josip's back, by the way, with his notes. I do believe, Josip, this is our first corner of the afternoon, and Ziggy Rizuki is going to take. Yeah,
well, Stephen Smith, the assistant coach of the Eastern Lions, was good enough to pick up my notes and give them back to me. So it is really windy. We weren't lying.
Rizuki's ball just kept on carrying. Doyle's trying to chase this down before it goes out of play, and he does so. Drutzis. Brazoya there right with him. Brazoya does well. Drutzis will claim the throw quickly. Looking for Deluri, let it go past him. And then Wilkes concedes another corner.
When I lost my notes there, I was probably more scared than some of these players out here today.
Well, the good news is, listeners, that Josip has got his notes back. So Georgopoulos now, the corner on the other side this time around for the Eastern Lions. Rizuki and Deluri hanging around the back post. Ball comes in from Georgopoulos. It actually hits the ground, and then Wilkes sends it up into the sky. Danger not averted yet. Doyle got involved as well. Drutzis trying to chase this down in front of Brazoya. Coming in to help for St Albans was Bericevic. It's pinballing around. Drutzis, little touch, Deluri. Back to Drutzis. Tried to send it near the front post. It was blocked, though, by Bericevic. Another corner coming up for the Lions.
Yeah, well, that was fantastic work from Stefan Bericevic from a defensive aspect. He got beaten twice and then still ended up coming up as the last man to block that Drutzis cross. That was a dangerous one. It did come off nice off the left boot, but Sigi Rizuki here with a opportunity. It will be an outswinger. We've got plenty of options in the box.
Neat ball as well by Rizuki, but St Albans were able to temporarily at least come away with it. Now Monek gets it back, and they can establish the counter up until the moment that he had to meet with Georgopoulos. Monek chasing the ball down, has to find a way around Rizuki. The throw's going to go the Eastern Lions' way. They've had the last couple of minutes go their way to Eastern Lions. Can they find a goal? It's Georgopoulos currently falling down outside the area. Plenty of blue shirts around him. Deluri with some heavy body on body gives away to foul.
Yeah, it was interesting to see there. I mean, I saw the coach of St Albans, Rajov, really yelling at Joseph Monek when he looked to cut inside, especially in a defensive position. But when he went wide, there was absolutely no option available. Hoda was in front, but he didn't really look like he wanted the ball. So it was interesting to see what type of tactics Saints were playing there.
As the sun does re-emerge from behind the clouds. So 11 minutes of regulation time left in this first half. Still waiting for our first score here at Churchill Reserve. Slowly coming to claim the throw is Bargaric. He gets it now. To Barisic. And Bargaric, it's a wasted ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it looks like that one didn't really come off the foot well. He snapped at it with the left boot, so he would have hit it with the outside of the foot and chipped it all the way to that fencing that's behind the goal. But once again, Keegan Coulter with the opportunity to conjure something up from the goal kick. They are coming to the other side. The last goal kick, they went to the right. Now they're going to go to the left. Really setting up, but they do have, I think it's Drutzis out on the right there.
Played on by Kenny. And the whistle goes as the ball was in the air. It's going to go to Eastern Lions' way. And again, right now, it's the Eastern Lions that are doing most of the attacking, Josip.
Well, they are. As we said, the momentum changed, and the Eastern Lions have been taking the game up to St Albans. They started the game sitting back. Maybe they wanted to see what St Albans had to offer for the first 15-20 minutes. But as you said, as we entered the last 10 minutes of this first half, the Eastern Lions are really pressing up forward.
Neat ball by Stratomitros. It's Drutzis trying to weave away through. Half shot by Kenny. Still a chance here. Good save, Shesto. At that left post. It's out for a corner. Very good goalkeeping again.
Well, that was great from Matthew Shesto. He came on as a substitute last week against Bentley Greens. We're not sure what happened to Shane Vitakangis, the first choice goalkeeper for the Saints, but it was through a crowd. It was really hard to see Shesto, but if you go back and have a look at that save, that was glamorous.
Ziggy Rizuki's corner toward the near post, and they have found the back of the net. It's a goal. It looks like it's Drutzis who has scored at the near post. It is 1-0 Eastern Lions.
Yeah, well, I'm as confused as you, Adam. I'm not too sure who scored there, but it was an absolute pinpoint delivery. And once the header came in, that was absolutely gorgeous. Just as we have a look at the replay here, I mean, the Eastern Lions, we've been saying it. They've been prepping, they've been pestering the St Albans goal, and they finally come up with something to count for on the scoreboard. Have you managed to figure out who the goal scorer is, Adam?
It does look like Drutzis at the near post, who has been threatening, and the Eastern Lions claim the lead. Just as they did in the first half last week. Can they, unlike last week, hold on to their advantage? Wilkes. It's Hoda. What's the response here from St Albans? Deluri applying plenty of pressure. Hoda maintained it though, out to Monek on the left side once more, but the flag goes up.
Yeah, Chris Drutzis, fantastic goal from the 23-year-old who's been at Eastern Lions since 2016, although he was in the 2015 Bentley Greens under-20 championship squad. Funny enough, I played against him. I was at Port Melbourne that season. We finished 7th that year, but Bentley Greens were absolutely fantastic. And Chris Drutzis, always capable of attacking players and running in, cutting into the box, taking long-range shots. That time it was a header, but a very capable young talent for the Eastern Lions.
Free kick here for St Albans into the area. Wilkes was there waiting for it. Kenny and then Georgopoulos away from the danger zone. Murray tried to play it on from the air. Deluri's going to take the bouncing ball here near the sideline. Here is the goal scorer, Drutzis. Collided with Murray. Overrun by Monek. Drutzis again. Just a little touch in the direction of Kenny, but this time Shesto is able to collect it. So how does that goal change the complexion of this one here, Josip, as we approach halftime?
Well, you just see Drutsis was on the ball again, and straight away he went to on the attack, using those quick feet, using that pace. Couldn't conjure up a goal this time, but he's done enough so far, especially here in the first half. But I think St Albans really now understand that Eastern Lions didn't come here to muck around, and they're going to have to really try and penetrate more. They're getting the ball forward. That's not the issue. The issue is getting the ball into the box for Mate Barisic, who did start off the game quite nicely, but I don't think has touched the ball over the last 10 minutes.
Chance here for Hoda. Ball's just a bit too high. Difficult one to control. Play allowed to continue after quite a few shouts from both the men on the pitch and the crowd here. Of course, predominantly St Albans in the crowd here today at Churchill Reserve. So Bericevic. Another great ball that perhaps was intended for Sims. Deluri. That last touch has come off him. That should be a St Albans throw, and it is. Hoda takes it quickly. Wilkes. Switching over to the left side, but Dib was under some pressure from Drutsis, who's got his tail up at the moment. Christopher Dib. As things just settle down again here at Churchill Reserve. St Albans now desperate to find an equaliser before we go to the sheds for the halftime break. Barisic. Hoda. Does well to find some space. There's Brazoya getting involved again. Monek has to go back and retrieve it. Pressure on him from Ismaili. Comes back out. Bericevic now. Doyle getting a touch on it. Still a chance here for St Albans. Georgopoulos, though, managed just to get in front of Barisic that time. He's not done yet, Georgopoulos here. Up against Monek, who does win it back for St Albans, but he's got not much space to work with. Drutsis right on him near that corner flag again. Monek claiming a corner. Doesn't get it.
Yeah, well, St Albans are quite used to coming from behind to win matches, especially against Eastern Lions. In the 2019 campaign, 2 times Eastern Lions had a 2-0 lead against St Albans, and St Albans come back to win the first one 3-2 and the second one 4-2. So it wouldn't be the first time that St Albans come back, but as I said, they've lost a fair few key players that were in that squad in 2019, and maybe they are facing the effects of it. As Coulter once again against the wind, as soon as the ball hits maximum height, it just drops. As Brazoya on the ball gets pegged down, but enough to win a foul. It's going to be St Albans with another chance to attack here. You really think that they need to get a goal here before half time, Adam?
Just a touch over 2 minutes of regulation remaining. Haven't had too many stoppages at all, so you wouldn't expect any more than perhaps a minute on the fourth official's board at this stage. It's a St Albans free kick. Just at the edge of the attacking third. Many numbers at the top of the area as the ball comes in. Rizuki, it was a fairly shallow one. Rizuki did well to find Deluri. Quick counter here for the Eastern Lions to maybe double their lead. It is Deluri still. Didn't think about firing the shot on the right foot. Now things get held up and St Albans get some numbers back. It's still Deluri though. Looking to combine with Drutsis out towards Iggy Rizuki, who had some space on the left. Just outside the area, Rizuki toward the back post. It pops up in the air. Still danger not averted yet for St Albans. Little touch there by Sim. Drutsis missed his target there in Kenny. Ball's gone out of play and we have a goal kick.
Well, if you're Daniel Puskasu, who's the Eastern Lions head coach, you've got to be upset there with Dennis Deluri. He had a perfect opportunity. It was 2 against 2. He was going attacking. I think it was against Bradley Murray he was up against, and he just did not make a decision. He kept going forward as far as he could. Once he got stopped, he turned around, and he had options both left and right in the end, but decided to go by himself. Especially if you go by yourself, you've got to fire a shot, make sure that you test the goalkeeper, but we're unable to do it there as we're slowly creeping towards the final minute We're going to see soon how much addition there's going to be. I can't see it being more than 1 minute, Adam.
Monek's ball takes a deflection. Doyle. Monek wants to go back in and get it back. Goes down inside the area, and Jonathan Barrero stops play now. What's happened here? Barrero has stopped play, and there is a bit to sort out here, Josip. What did you see?
Well, either Monek made it look absolutely fantastic, or I believe he was clipped, because as soon as he got to the ball, I saw a foot clip him, but it's very tough to tell. The referee had a much better view than I did, so I'm not going to make any calls here, Adam, but it did look like a penalty for me.
Nothing to see here, according to Jonathan Barrero. Not even a card. It was out for a throw, a St Albans throw, and you're inside the area again. Now calls for handball. Dramatic end to this first half here. Rizuki, is he going to be able to chase this ball down? Perhaps under an injury cloud. It does go out before Rizuki can get there. Was limping earlier in this half, Josip. We are now at the end of the 45. It's Hoda to take this throw. We're seeing 1 minute on the fourth officials board. So 1 more minute for St Albans. There's a high ball here from Hoda, which will be chest marked by Keegan Coulter.
I've just gone through the replay and had a look. I think the referee, Jonathan Barrera, has actually made the right decision. Monek made it look very good from my angle, but I've got to say that's great refereeing from the match official.
Hoda goes down at the halfway line. Free kick to go St Albans' way. So 30 seconds left in this first half. It's the Eastern Lions leading thanks to a Chris Drutz's goal at the near post via the header in tight quarters. Did well to get it past Shesto. And that is the difference between these two sides as we tick down to half-time. One last attack maybe here for St Albans. Ball won back by Hoda. Quickly trying to set something up with Barisic. Goes out the back, and it's going to be a very late corner here, late in this first half for the St Albans Saints. One last chance before we go into the halftime break.
Well, as you said, with the 1 minute of additional time, we've already ticked over it, so this has to be the final opportunity. As the Saints are taking their time, it's Monek who will take it, but that ball that just came to Badicic, the striker, I really was expecting to see him try to get a volley or something in. As the ball goes in, is up to Wilkes. Wilkes gets a header, but couldn't steer it onto the inside of that front post, and it goes wide, and I think that's all she wrote for the first half, Adam.
Jonathan Barrero confirming that now. So before we go to halftime, it is the Eastern Lions 1, St Albans Saints nil. Chris Drutzis, the goal scorer for the Eastern Lions. Josip, a couple of chances going begging for St Albans at various stages throughout that first half. Maybe a penalty, you say. Correct call by Jonathan Barrero when Monek did go down in the area. Eastern Lions, perhaps, though, just on top for bigger portions of that first half, and that's why they're ahead at halftime. Yeah,
well, I think both sides have played pretty well, but as I said, St Albans started the game off good. They had a few opportunities. Well, if I remember correctly, it was Brazoya with a header, just went over the bar. But Eastern Lions, once they sussed out St Albans, they really took a step forward and really tried to take the game towards the hosts. So they've done well. They got their goal through Chris Drutzis, the 23-year-old, and now all they have to do is a bit of the same for another 45 minutes, and they'll take a very important 3 points away from Churchill Reserve.
So it is half-time here. It is 1-0 in favour of the Eastern Lions. We'll take a break and have the second half right after this. Welcome back to Churchill Reserve. It is the second half just kicking off here in this round 5 clash between the St Albans Saints and the Eastern Lions. It is the Eastern Lions leading 1-0. Chris Drutzis scoring in the 37th minute. Adam Sarikoglu, Josip Herzog on the call today. Josip, I'll come to you momentarily here as the Eastern Lions are on the attack here. Deluri was working against Sims. Now Alice. Was all you got there. I do welcome back Josip to the coverage. And while the Eastern Lions did get the upper hand in that first half, St Albans had some moments, but it's the Eastern Lions that currently lead.
Well, both teams did have their moments in the first half. It was St Albans who started the match better. But once St Albans didn't really show too much promise, Eastern Lions started gaining more confidence, getting the ball forward, and Chris Drutzis got the goal. It was a gorgeous header of the 23-year-old. From a corner as the ball comes to Drutzis, and he goes first time, but he just could not steer it towards the goal as it misses the front post. But that's good positive early signs, and Eastern Lions really picking up from where they left off in the first half.
So of course now it is Matt Chesto who has to wear the hat looking into the sun in this second half at the eastern end of the pitch. Last touch there off Bargaric, and coming across to take the throw, Ishmaeli. Wants to go to Drutzis, who is the danger man at the moment for the Eastern Lions. He's trying to sneak a ball toward the near post, easily collected by Chesto, who despite conceding that goal, can't really blame him. It was a really good finish by Drutzis. Did have a good first half, made a good save or two. Now he's Keegan Coulter getting his first touch of the second half.
Yeah, as you said, you can't really blame the goalkeeper, but it is interesting to see how the goalkeepers have swapped the caps. It'd be interesting to see if it was Keegan Coulter who gave his cap to Chesto.
I can confirm that it's not, because his was all black and Chesto wearing a black and white hat. So Coulter, Stratomitros and Doyle all combining here for the Eastern Lions. Crouch just picked up a bit here in this second half. Perhaps some that were watching Avondale and the Melbourne Knights in that 1-1 draw, Josip. There's a few more people here now.
Yeah, well, it is a Saturday afternoon. I guess some people were still at work when the match kicked off, but Avondale not too far away from Churchill Reserve here in St Albans, so maybe a few people have come down. We do have more action tonight in NPL Victoria, another 3 games, and we will give you those fixtures shortly as St Albans look to take the ball forward. They're really going to have to conjure up something. They're going to have to use their wings, maybe not even use the long ball as much as they have been in the first half, as there it goes again, but they're going to have to really put the ball on the deck and use the talent that they have out on the pitch.
Drutzis, who just seems to get more and more involved as this game goes on, wins the free kick here for Eastern Lions again. It's on their terms at the moment.
Just got those fixtures for the rest of the afternoon. In about 20 minutes, Altona Magic will be hosting South Melbourne. 6:30 start, 7 p.m. You've got Dandenong Thunder hosting Port Melbourne, and then the final game of the evening kicks off at 7:30 with Hume City hosting Bentley Greens. So plenty more action to come from the NPL Victoria division.
That's a high quality matchup to end the night with Hume City and Bentley. Bentley drew 0-0 with St Albans last week, of course, as Chesto sends it toward that outer wing, and that ball's being cleared a long way back behind the club rooms here. A fresh ball to bring back into play for Alice here for the Eastern Lions. Deluri, was there a little handball there? Play's allowed to continue. Little touch by Kenny. Doyle. Kicks ricocheted off and gone out for a goal kick. 4 minutes played, nearly 5 minutes played here in this second half. It's the Eastern Lions looking for their second win since coming up to the top flight in NPL Victoria. Did defeat Port Melbourne on the road 2 weeks ago. Still waiting for their first home win, of course, since coming up. But on the road, Josip, they seem to be finding some form, and they have the upper hands here at the moment against St Albans as the ball comes to this left side. Bargaric now looking to play on toward Monak, who was busy in the first half. Barisic, that's a Bargaric, and now all the way back to Christopher Dibb. This is Jordan Wilkes, right back, looking to set the ball up toward the top of the area. Doyle got involved there. Drutzis again looking to pick out Deluri. Little touch there by Sim. Deluri getting it now. Sneaks inside the area. Left foot ball. There's a handball there. Doesn't matter. Ziggy Rizuki still looking to find another way through here. Plenty of intensity here for the Eastern Lions at the moment. Drutzis again. Deluri can't find a clean shot. Long range ball from Ishmaeli, who did score last week. Falls well wide in the end. Nothing to really worry about for Shesto.
Well, Dennis Deluri, as we said earlier, with his first start for the season, he's had a few opportunities to really run at defenders tonight, but hasn't made the most of them as of yet. It'd be interesting to see if he can make a decision maybe a bit quicker. I feel like that's been his issue today. He's just been caught in two minds every time he gets the ball going forward.
This free kick's going to go St Albans' way on that right wing. Looking to take it quickly here is Hoda. Borisevic getting involved again. All the way back now it comes to Shesto. This is Dibb. Jordan Wilkes, the captain. Hoda again patrolling things on that right side. Looking to cut back inboard and assess his options from the middle of the pitch. Goes out wide. Monek just had to wait for that ball and had to perhaps sit there too long, and eventually it goes out of play. Eastern Lions will get the ball back here. You can see that extra urgency from St Albans at the moment, Josip, but they cannot put Keegan Coulter to the test at all.
Well, they don't really have... They've got time on their side. That's the only thing that they've got going for them at this current moment. The Saints, they're really getting pegged back on their own home ground, and it's really good to see from Eastern Lions that they've been able to get their confidence up and as I said earlier, really kick off the second half where they left the first half.
Shouts of blue ball, but it's indeed a white ball here. Ishmaeli again. He fired away a wayward ball moments ago. There are two balls on the pitch as play resumes. Drutzis, the intended target of the throw. It does go out for a corner. The Eastern Lions did have a couple in the first half. It's Ziggy Rizuki coming across, and it was from this sort of area where Drutzis was able to get on end of it at the near post and score the header. That does separate these two sides late in the first half. Now we have a very similar situation for Ziggy Rizuki. Again goes near post, but it was a low ball. And then from a long way, Georgopoulos sent it into the car park.
Yeah, well, that was an interesting shot there from Georgopoulos. Really did not really get over the ball. There was no real attempt to steer it towards goal as St Albans look to conjure up something here. It is Wilkes on the ball.
Deluri, the beneficiary of the turnover here. Maybe a bit of space. Kenny getting involved. Cops some heavy contact from Hoda just outside the area. It's going to be a goal kick.
Well, Deluri done well there, as I was just saying before. Just got to make a quick decision, and he did. He found Kenny, and Kenny gave the ball back to him, but just touch offside. Great work there from the official on our close side here, but it is Deluri on the ball again.
His pass intended for Alice, who does get past Sesto, but does not end up scoring and doubling the lead for the Eastern Lions.
Once again, great work there from Dennis Deluri. As soon as I gave him a bit of stick, he's been making some decisions, and he's been really playing the ball forward, but that was a poor effort in the end with the shot, but Eastern Lions really have the hosts pegged back here. As you can tell, just having a look at the coach, Kruni Rajov, he's absolutely livid with his players. They're going to have to conjure something up maybe from the bench.
Again, the Eastern Lions go on the attack, although Djurtsis did eventually run into Bargaric and it was heavy contact. Everyone gets up, everyone's okay, and play continues. Ziggy Rizuki sees the ball go over his head. And there is more voice coming from both benches now. Jonathan Barrero has stopped play. Chris Djurtsis perhaps has some claret that needs to be cleaned up, and he'll be attended to by the trainer. As he comes near us, and yes, coming out of the elbow, there's a fair bit of claret on his shirt as well. So temporarily down to 10 men, the Eastern Lions, as play resumes. This is Christopher Dibb. Monek available on the left side. Dibb holds on to it a fair while longer. Sprazoya got involved again. Biricevic goes across to Wilkes. Wilkes again. Now Dibb. Couple of men in blue shirts on the left side. Dibb considering those options, but does cut back to the right side. Now Wilkes. Still down to 10 men currently, the Eastern Lions. Christopher Djurtsis just getting patched up on that right elbow. Here's a chance now. Hoda can't find the target. Wilkes will chase this ball down once more. And here's Christopher Dibb again.
Yeah, it's just Sean Kenny, the captain, in front of us, who's getting patched up. There, as you said, there was absolutely a lot of blood, a long bloodline down his forearm. They've been patching it up, but there is blood on the jersey. So if I do remember correctly, the rules state that he cannot play with any blood on the jersey. So they're going to have to find a jersey from somewhere else. As it is Dibb who's going to ping the ball into the box.
Yeah, my apologies. It is definitely Sean Kenny receiving that treatment. I did say Djurtsis initially, and that new shirt is coming out now. So apologies for that. It is Kenny currently off the field. So still 10 men for the Eastern Lions as we speak. It's Keegan Coulter with the goal kick, and a new shirt on its way out for Kenny just below us, Josip, as we speak. And now Keegan Coulter's going to be told to take his goal kick.
Now we get to play the lottery of whose shirt is he going to wear.
Luckily for us, though, he will have the captain's armband on, though, so still fairly easy for us to recognise. He's got the number 25 shirt on now, Kenny, and he is back out there as St Albans look to set something up. Brazoya got tangled up with Ziggy Rizuki. Ball's cleared away in the direction of Deluri. Dibb playing back towards Shesto. So it is 11v11 once more. Still waiting for our first substitution of the afternoon. Approaching the hour mark here at Churchill Reserve. It's Eastern Lions leading 1-0. High ball for Doyle to deal with. Brazoya. Now Monek. Working backward. And to retreat. Now Dibb. Getting more involved in this second half, Christopher Dibb. Looking to centralise the ball. Goes down after the pass, and now here's a chance for St Albans to maybe square the ledger.
Well, you see Christopher Dibb, Jordan Wilkes both making their way into the box with Marko Bagaric, Stefan Baricevic. So they've got height in that box, but they're just going to have a good delivery here. I think it's Adam Hoda who's going to take it. If they can get the ball to the front post and maybe just skip past an Eastern Lions defender, if they can get a head onto it.
Hoda's ball toward the back post. Doyle in the air. Managed to remove the ball from the danger area. Still St Albans ball here for the time being. Monek and Ismaili come together. It goes out for a goal kick, and, well, another half chance goes begging for the Saints.
Yeah, well, the long ball came to the back post, and it was the club captain, Jordan Wilkes, who got onto it. He looked to really square the ball back into the box, but there was no one there. Wearing a blue shirt, and St Albans in the end could not make anything of that opportunity. But I agree with you completely, Adam, when you say another half chance gone begging. Looks like they've seen plenty half chances go begging here, the Saints, and that's maybe the reason why they are 1-0 down. But not to take any credit away from the Eastern Lions, who have been playing a good brand of football this afternoon.
Remember Joey Monek going down in the first half, and a really heavy shout for a penalty that Jonathan Barrero decided to ultimately ignore. Drutzis, nice neat little first touch there, and Drutzis, it's an open net to Lurie, but Sesto gets back in time. And it stays 1-0. Chesto's ball out toward Hoda. Wins the throw. Alice now and Doyle on the last line. Brizovic getting involved as well. Bargerich won't chase that ball down in time for St Albans.
I've just had a look at the substitutes that are sort of possible for both sides. Third goalkeeper for the St Albans Saints, Jake Angelovsky, is on bench. Joseph Siech is on the bench as well. Shime Brazoya was supposed to be on the bench, but he did come in to replace Darren McCauley, and it was a last-second change there. But they also have Dimitrios Paraskos and Jason Zero from the under-20s, the under-21s, my apologies. And then for the Eastern Lions, second goalkeeper, Anirudh Capio, Sanich Zijai, Adi Ahmeti, Gianluca Pizzarani, and Aaron Fabris, who has got a goal this season. Aaron Fabris, of course, has come on as a substitute in all 4 of Eastern Lions' games so far this season. So just by looking at it, I'm seeing a lot more talent on the Eastern Lions bench, and they are 1-0 up. So they've got the recipe for success tonight. Now it's just a matter of, can they continue and hold out this 1-0 lead?
It is a battle of 5th versus 12th coming into this round 5 clash as Chesto falls on top of the ball here. A lot of ball coming to Lurie's way. We've spoken a bit about his influence on this game, Josip. But by the time the ball arrives, he's struggled to have any major impact on this game. There's another chance here for the Eastern Lions. Sim, though, couldn't quite get there. Rizuki claims the throw. Alice looking for either Deluri or Drutzis. Comes all the way back to Doyle. Drutzis on this right side now. Nice little touch there, Ishmaeli. Low ball along the ground. Chesto falls on top of it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at St Albans. They're going up for attack now, but they aren't really able to get numbers forward, and when they do, they can't really create anything. As you see there, Brazoya just giving the ball away. He was looking for the run of Barisic, but way too many defenders. Eastern Lions doing really well to bring numbers forward in attack, and then doing really well to get numbers back behind the ball. So really making a tough test for St Albans, and Eastern Lions clearly the side on top.
Dib's ball, no good for Monek. Neat little first touch there by Drutzis. Deluri coming together with Dib, who won the ball. And then after the ball was cleared away, Deluri and Dib have come together. Jonathan Barrero does give a yellow card to Dennis Deluri. Well, I was on the ball there, Josip, but Christopher Dib is not getting up, and something has clearly happened. Now some remonstration I should say, from Jordan Wilkes.
Yeah, well, when I looked at what was going on, I was looking at the substitution that's about to happen, as we've got Dimitrios Paraskos, number 15, who's going to replace number 13, Shime Brazoya, for the Saints. But as the ball went away, I saw them clutch legs, and it looked like Dennis Deliri just left something extra on Christopher Dib, and got his punishment for it. But yeah, just confirming that substitution there has happened.
Dimitrios Paraskos has now come into the fray for St Albans. So Deliri's number is in the book. And the free kick is taken. Chance here for St Albans to maybe capitalise. Murray all the way back, and Bargerich toward the back post. Alice there. Hoda's going to be happy to claim a corner here. Wants to take it relatively quickly here. Nope, he's going to allow his teammate to come across. It's going to be Baricevic to send this ball in for St Albans.
Yeah, well, Dimitris Paraskos coming on last week in that 0-0 draw against the Bentley Greens as a substitute. As the ball comes in, flying to the back post, it is Mate Barisic who got onto it but just couldn't steer it towards goal. The ball stays in.
It's Doyle clearing away Deluri. The ball bounces his way. Only has one defender to worry about, Deluri, waiting for the help to arrive. Pass was just slightly back for Georgopoulos, who was off balance. It wasn't a bad effort in the end. But it's wayward, and it stays 1-0 in favour of the Eastern Lions.
Well, that was Deliri who got the ball, and it was a gorgeous dummy, and it was around Paraskos, and that's not really the way you want to enter the game, especially when you're chasing a result. Paraskos is really going to have to get himself into the game. He's coming in midfield. He's going to have to seek the ball to his feet, make sure he turns players and look for the outlet. You've got Monek on the left and Hoda still on the right. But Deliri, once again, was unable to make a quick decision, and then the ball that came was a bit late, but still got a good opportunity out of it, the Lions.
Approaching the halfway mark of this second half. This free kick is going to go to Eastern Lions' way. Alice brought to the deck, and the free kick going to the visitors once more. Fairly entertaining game, this one at Churchill Reserve. It's a 1-0 lead currently for the Eastern Lions. That ball's intended for Drutzis, but it's going to fall well short of him. Bagaric was there to reclaim it. Cutting back in board now, Monek. He's brought down pretty late by Ishmaeli. Or maybe not Ishmaeli, but a yellow card has been shown. And a free kick for St Albans, another booking.
If I'm counting correctly, I think that's 4 yellow cards for the Eastern Lions. They have been playing well, as we've said a few times already, but not only have they been playing well going forward and creating chances and really making it difficult for St Albans, but they've been great on the defensive end, as I just see in front of us Aaron Fabris getting ready to come on.
Very shallow, wasted free kick ultimately there for St Albans. Sims sends it up into the sky once more. Jordan Wilkes waiting for it underneath. Chance here for Hoda. Another low ball. And it's very easily dealt with in the end. Now Deliri, can he get on the end of this one? Shesto's come a long way out. There are 2 Eastern Lions men down in that final third. Georgopoulos and another man as well. Fabris is about to come on, but not one, but 2 injury concerns now for the Eastern Lions as this substitution is being readied. We've got it's going to look to be a stoppage in play here, Josip, and we now have the substitution taking place. And it is going to be Sevdim Ishmaeli making way for Fabrice.
Well, yes, Aaron Fabris has come on. In all four games he has made an appearance off the bench. He did score a gorgeous chip against Bentley Greens in the first round. It was 3-1 that evening, so it was nothing more than a consolation. And even against South Melbourne, he had a very important goal line clearance at 1-1. He is an Eastern Lions junior. He's a 21-year-old, and he's an ex-Xavier College student who now is a soccer and futsal coach at the college. So a very busy young man, Aaron Fabris.
See what impact he makes here. Wilkes giving away the throw. And yet again, it's the Eastern Lions that seem to be doing a bit more of the attacking here at the moment. It is well and truly on their terms. As we speak, we are just a touch over 20 minutes away from the end of the 90. Play is allowed to continue here. Georgopoulos back up on his feet. It's not a great ball. Chance here for Monek to maybe make something of it, but Doyle was there to clear it away. Drutzis. Sim was there, involved as well. Georgopoulos sends the ball forward, but Shesto collects it. Baricevic back to Shesto. Ziggy Rizuki chases this ball down here for the Eastern Lions. It's Rizuki looking to cut back to Deluri. Fires a shot away. Shesto deals with it. Fired it directly at the goalkeeper. Did Dennis Deluri that time. The quick clearance. Doyle again there to clear it away. Ball popped up in the air by Baricevic. Rizuki, Ellis. Finding a way around Hoda. Shesto's going to get there first before Deluri. Eastern Lions throw.
This is the 8th meeting between the two clubs, and since 2014, St Albans Saints have won 6, and the only point that Eastern Lions have ever been able to take off St Albans was last year in that very short season that we had. So this would become Eastern Lions' first ever win against St Albans Saints as a club. That must be massive.
19 minutes of regulation to come. In order to try and achieve that, we are going to get another substitution here. ZJ is about to come on for the Eastern Lions, and maybe Dennis Deluri, I think it's his number that's on the 4th officials board. Coulter is going to reclaim the ball here. So a second substitution coming up for the Eastern Lions. Coulter just looking to waste a little bit of time. Doyle. Wasted ball forward. And we will have that second substitution of the afternoon. It is Dennis Deluri who is going to make way for Sonny ZJ.
Yeah, well, maybe I've been a bit too harsh on him today, but Dennis Deluri, it was his first start today as he doesn't come to the halfway line. The fans are not too happy with how much time he's taking to come off, but all round I'd say a pretty good performance from Dennis Deluri. He could have done more, but he could have done less, so good to see Zajai back on the pitch, and we get this match back underway with Matthew Shester.
Bagaric sent the ball forward. Hoda had a couple of runners available, decided to go back. Paraskis, one of the new men, or the only new man out there for St Albans so far. They've only made one substitution. Paraskos again. Bagaric going all the way back to Shesto. This is Jordan Wilkes. Ball intended there for Barisic. Popped it up in the air for Hoda. The first time volley trying to set something up. It was too low though. Sajai getting his first touch of the afternoon. Jonathan Barrero had another question asked of him and allowed play to continue. Monek lost his footing but was not brought to ground according to Jonathan Barrero. This throw is going to go the Eastern Lions' way. You can sense that frustration really starting to build now for the St Albans faithful here.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing a lot of frustration directed towards the officials for not getting the calls right in their opinion, but I think St Albans really got to forget about the officiating and they got to get the ball on the deck, as that was a very hard knock on Jordan Wilkes from Sonny Sijai. And I see Sean Kenny and Christopher Dibb in a bit of a tussle there as well. But as I said, St Albans really just got to not let Eastern Lions get under their skin. You've got to put the ball on the deck, play the ball around, look to make something. Time is still on their side. They've got the better part of 15 minutes and whatever the officials add on top, which so far I'd add 3, but they've still got time. They just have to relax and try get the ball forward and try conjure up opportunities.
It has been a fiery affair at times here at Churchill Reserve. It's Drutzis at the moment. That's a half-decent ball for Kenny. It falls over the top of the crossbar. It is the Eastern Lions who have had their tails up since scoring in the 37th minute. Christopher Drutzis, a lovely header at the near post. Shesto is going to send this one away here for St Albans. Where's that equaliser going to come from? 15 minutes remaining in regulation here. There is another substitution on its way from the St Albans side this time. Eastern Lions ball here as the ball lands directly under our commentary area.
Just looking at the St Albans bench, it will be Jason Zero coming on, so that'll be his debut for the St Albans Saints. He hasn't featured at all this season, is a product of the youth squad, and is quite a quick attacker. So St Albans going to put another man forward, and it's going to be a great opportunity for the youngster to set himself up in the senior squad.
Drutzis gives away the foul here near the corner flag. And here is that substitution, which will see Jason Zero come on for the first time. David Sims, he's the man coming off for St Albans.
Yeah, well, he will be tucking into that fullback role, but do expect to see Zero going forward, trying to tee something up with Adam Hoda on that right wing. They're really going to have to exploit their wings. They have good wings, good players that can play wide, as Mate Barasic, who is the striker in the team, has been all over the pitch today trying to get the ball to his feet. But you see Zero already creeping up, the number 18 on the far side.
Bargarich to take the throw here for St Albans. It's going to be easily collected by Keegan Coulter. So the Eastern Lions now have to navigate the next 13 minutes of regulation and try and claim their second win of the season. Comes all the way back to Shesto here. Christopher Dibb to receive this ball. Bargarich now. Drutzis for company. Drutzis wins the throw here for the Eastern Lions. Just those little wins that seem to keep going Eastern Lions' way this afternoon. Fabrice is going to take the throw, and here's a time-wasting yellow card for Christopher Drutzis.
Yeah, that was a bit harsh there, the yellow card. Drutzis is not the regular throw-in taker, so they was just giving the ball back to his teammate who was going to take it and cop the yellow card for time-wasting.
Perhaps just the build-up of little moments of time-wasting, perhaps, where Jonathan Barrero says enough is enough, and here we have a corner coming up for the Eastern Lions. Ziggy Rizuki, speaking of time-wasting, won't be any real rush as the ball did ricochet into the car park. He was going to come across and send this ball in, the Englishman. Just feels like physically he's not 100% today, Josip. He hasn't featured a hell of a lot in this game. We know the quality he does bring to the table. It'll be an in-swinging ball here. Jonathan Barrero, though, he's just trying to sort something out in front of the goal. Now, Rizuki allowed to send the corner in. Doyle going up for the header. It's well wide in the end.
Well, you're right. We spoke about it in the first half, Ziggy Rizuki. It looks like he's running a bit better than he did in the first half, but he did pick up a knock. It was something with to do with the left hamstring, but you're right, he does bring a lot of attacking intent to the table, very stable-minded individual, but hasn't been able to really conjure up something today, but he won't care though. They're going forward, they've got the lead.
So it's Kenny to Fabrice, and now some space here. Drutzis comes inside the area. Can they double their lead here, the Eastern Lions? A lot of bodies over the top of the ball. Quick shot is missed. I think it was Kenny, the captain. No, it was Georgopoulos, in fact, who missed. It stays 1-0. They've had a few chances now, the Eastern Lions, to double their lead. What's the response from St Albans? Ellis wins the ball in the air. Zajai, he lost it ultimately. Murray looking to turn on a dime. Fabrice goes down after colliding with Bargarich. Hoda. And now Wilkes. Intensity is lifting here at Churchill Reserve. It has been a high-intensity game. It's a small but vocal crowd here There's been plenty of moments, plenty of fire, a lot of yellow cards in this game. It's Wilkes. That ball had to find a way through to Monek, but there was a lot of Eastern Lions as the ball made his way there, and eventually it does go out of play. Fabrice to claim this throw for the Eastern Lions.
Yeah, well, with 10 minutes to go, we've just gone into the last 10 minutes. Well, you know, Eastern Lions, they are ahead 1-0, but there is only that one goal in it, and St Albans are a team known for coming back from behind, and with, as I said, time is getting away from St Albans, but one goal can come out from absolutely anything, and they've shown it before this season.
And of course, we do know the Eastern Lions did give up a 1-0 lead last week as Stratomitros deals with the pressure that time. They don't want to lose that 1-0 lead again this time around, the Lions, who are finding form as this season starts to develop. Ziggy Rizuki. He's going to be in no major rush here. Sends it as far and as long as he can. Looking to trap it, Zajai. Here's a chance. Kenny running into trouble though. The two captains coming together. Shesto. Now to Bagaric once more. Down the line intended for Monek. Had Fabrice for company. Doyle. Drutzis, he's pushed over. Fairly clear foul there. Going the Eastern Lions' way.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the smartest play there from Marko Bagaric, as it was very clear to see both hands in the back of Drutzis, but Eastern Lions, as you said, they won't be in a rush to take this. They've already conceded one yellow card for time wasting. I don't think they will get another one, but with the one goal in it, anything can happen. This is NPL Victoria we're talking about, Adam.
It is Drutzis on that yellow card for time wasting. Georgopoulos now. Doyle again with the header. Missed one earlier from the set piece, and now from open play misses again.
Yeah, we've seen a few headers go begging for the Eastern Lions, but the key one from Drutzis in the first half did hit the back of the net, and that is all that separates these two sides. As we are in the final 7 minutes of regular time, I do see at least 4 minutes being added on for stoppages.
It's going to be a frantic finish here. Stay tuned if you are watching this one on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube streams. It's been an enjoyable contest so far, and you think there's still a few chapters left to unfold in these final 10 minutes or so. Bagaric now. Monek took his time to try and pick something out. Hoda couldn't control it though. Georgopoulos cleared away. Comes back to Wilkes, and now Christopher Dibb. Came together with Georgopoulos. St Albans going to retain possession, but it's going to go all the way back to Shesto, and they're going to have to start again here. So 7 minutes left in regulation. 4 minutes currently predicted by Josip Herzog of added time at the end of the 90. Drutzis goes down. Hoda. Jonathan Barrero came steaming in, reaching for the card, which is shown to Hoda. And again, we're seeing some fire out there, Josip.
Yeah, well, that was quite a poor decision there from Adam Hoda. It was absolutely clear to see the clip on the back of the foot. And there goes a yellow card for Eastern Lions as well. I'm not too sure who it is for. It was Matthew Sim, I think. I think you got that one right, Adam. Yeah, it looks like Matthew Sim got that yellow card. He was the one that jumped in, but it was poor from Hoda, and he did cop a booking for it. And St Albans Saints sort of shooting themselves in the foot, making challenges like that and really playing into Eastern Lions' hands, allowing the Lions to have time behind the ball.
Play does resume. Drutzis, here's a chance here. It's cleared away. Shesto came off his line again. Drutzis is and remains the danger man at the moment for the Eastern Lions. St Albans seemingly don't have an answer for him.
As I said earlier, he was a big threat back in the junior ranks and through the reserve ranks, and now he's made himself a regular featuring player for the Eastern Lions and very capable of hitting the back of the net, as we've seen earlier this afternoon.
Fabrice was just looking to keep that ball in play for as long as possible. It will be an Eastern Lions throw here. Fabrice's throw, Zajai. Druitzis is offside. Now St Albans need to hurry up. We're inside the final 5 minutes of regulation. Risic found himself underneath that ball, but plenty of defenders around him. The throw's going to go to Eastern Lions' way. Fabrice to take it again. Ball intended for Sajai. Is there a chance for a counter-attack here? Not this time for St Albans, but they will get the throw. Bericevic taking it quickly. Monek hasn't had much ball come his way in the second half. Fairly busy in the first. Zero trying to chase this ball down here for St Albans. Didn't want to go to his captain. Dib had a bit more space on this left side. Now the captain gets a touch. Wilkes. Paraskos back to Wilkes, and now Paraskos again. Sajai for company. Barisic looked to make an attack, but got held up. The brick wall had been built that time. Paraskos getting involved again. Neat little touch back there. The little flick back from Bericevic almost worked out. Then going down was Nathan Sim, and it's a free kick for the Eastern Lions.
Yeah, Barisic was the intended target of that flick. I think it was Bradley Murray who tried it, but had that one come to fruition, Barisic could have got a shot on target, but it was positive. That's more what St Albans need to do. The time is now against them, and they're going to have to try win a few more opportunities and see if they can at least get a point here at home.
2.5 minutes left in regulation. Can the Eastern Lions hold on? Did give up a 1-0 lead last week. They've had their chances to double it and put this one away, and they might have another chance here. Kenny out to Druitzis. He's going to allow Hoda to come and try and win this ball back. In fact, it's not Hoda, it's Paraskos. The throw eventually is conceded. In fact, just looking to see if it's actually a corner or not here. Josip, it is a corner. Another chance for the Eastern Lions to wind this clock down. 90 seconds or so left in regulation. Georgopoulos now being harassed at the corner flag by Bargaric, who did win the throw for St Albans. They need to hurry up now, the men in blue. Bagaric, nice little ball there to set up Barisic, but he got dispossessed by Fabrice, and now Georgopoulos tried to weave his way through to Zajai. Murray, his ball's intercepted, almost collected our camera operator here. Ball just whizzing past the lens that time. Time running out, final minute of regulation for St Albans to find this equaliser, but it's Kenny sending the ball in Zajai's direction, has Christopher Dibb for company. That's going to be a goal kick. Time is running out, big time now for the hosts.
I'm going to stick with my estimate of 4 minutes of stoppage, Adam. What about yourself? What do you think?
Yeah, so we've had a few moments where almost not even injuries, just more moments where players have come together. There's been quite a bit of fire in this second half, and perhaps that's why. And you are right, Josip, there are 4 minutes going up on the fourth officials board. 4 more minutes for St Albans to try and find this equaliser. 4 more minutes for the Eastern Lions to hold on and get their second win since coming up to NPL Victoria's top flight. Right now it's a St Albans ball on that outer side. A high ball is collected by Keegan Coulter as 4 minutes is shown here.
Yeah, well, 4 minutes, I believe that's fair, but I don't see the St Albans Saints really getting an equaliser here. I think Eastern Lions have played this match out very professionally, and although here's Monek.
So Monek now, can he find a way around Coulter? Open net! They do equalise! Mate Barisic, finally, it is 1-1. Monek did very well. Barisic finished. It is 1-1.
Just as I said that they weren't going to get one, Joey Monek gets the ball on the left-hand side, cuts it into, he could have gone by himself, but cuts it into Mate Barisic, and Eastern Lions were in touching distance of their first ever win against St Albans Saints, and once again St Albans have been able to make a comeback. Well, now these last 3 minutes are going to be unbelievable.
Against the flow of play as well, this game has been on Eastern Lions terms for so long. It almost came out of nowhere, even though we were predicting an exciting finish here, Josip, and we have got that now. Right now the points are being shared. Wilkes. St Albans are the ones with their tails up. Is there a late winner out there somewhere? It really could go either way. Hoda getting involved again. It's going to come all the way back to Shesto. This game has a completely different complexion about it now, and this ball is going to go to Eastern Lions' way.
Well, you just see Kruni Rajov there. He was upset that the ball went all the way back to the goalkeeper, especially with such little time remaining. They got to play the ball forward, and now they're just inviting pressure. Eastern Lions very capable of scoring from set pieces, and it would be absolutely heartbreaking for the Saints if they do concede now.
Rizuki to send this ball in toward the top of the area. 2 minutes remaining. There were 4 minutes shown on the board. Shesto's going to collect this one. Looking into the sun and clear away as far as he can. Fabris and Monek are going to be there to meet the ball. Monek was so instrumental in the goal. This time he gives away the foul.
Well, it's unbelievable to see how much a goal can change the game. I mean, the St Albans Saints showed minimal urgency over the whole 45 minutes this second half, and then they score a goal out of nothing, really against a run of play, and now they're showing such intensity to get forward and score another.
That's going to be a goal kick now. Just a touch over a minute remaining. The Eastern Lions had led for 54 minutes of game time. Only to see it disappear just as it did last week against Dandenong Thunder. That resulted in a loss. Right now it's a draw that we're looking at here, just as it was against these two sides a year ago. Murray sends the ball in here for St Albans. Can they get the late winner? It's on ground level at the moment. Couldn't quite get up there. Baricevic. Jonathan Barrero blows the whistle. It's an Eastern Lions free kick. Baricevic, a bit of cramp now. Surprised I'm not seeing more cramp out there, Josip, if I'm being honest.
Well, this game is that's a tough challenge there, Adam. I'll allow you to call this one, but Barriero really is going to speak to the official and have a look at what the decision's going to be. Joseph Monek really just has to stay quiet. That's a straight red.
Yep, that's what they were discussing, what colour card it would be. Joey Monek has been sent off right at the death here. Monek has to come off. He has been red carded for the challenge on Fabrice. And again, there is plenty of fire, plenty of verbal going on at Churchill Reserve. While all this is happening, the 4 minutes are up. There will be a free kick, a yellow card now shown to the St Albans bench.
Well, I mean, we were looking for drama and action, as it was a bit of a dull affair for the most part of the second half, but this last 10 minutes has absolutely proved instrumental, and imagine the Eastern Lions can now take all 3 points with a final goal, especially after a red card. It's going to be unbelievable scenes here if they can do that.
We're going to see the latest and most dramatic of plot twists here as the ball comes in. It's cleared away over the crossbar. Corner is conceded by Jordan Wilkes.
It was from a corner that Eastern Lions did get their lead. It was a Ziggy Rizuki ball into Chris Drutztis. All but one player, even now the last player is going up as well. They're bringing everything forward, the Eastern Lions, except for the goalkeeper.
This is possibly the last play of the game. Ziggy Rizuki with the corner. It's a neat ball as well. Wilkes was there to meet it. It goes out of play. That's the final whistle. For so long it looked like the Eastern Lions might get their second win. Instead, a 1-1 draw in dramatic circumstances at Churchill Reserve. Josip, this one was one to savour, an entertaining game.
Well, it was. It was Chris Drutztis who got the goal and got the Eastern Lions ahead in the 37th minute, and Eastern Lions were the better team for most of the game, but St Albans made their way back with a goal out of nothing in the last minute of regular time, and that was through Mate Barisic, and then an absolute scenes with the red card for Joseph Monik, the winger for the Saints. But the Eastern Lions once again unable to defeat St Albans. As you said, last week they had a 1-0 lead and they conceded. It ended in it ended in a loss, and it was against in a draw. Really going to have to work on closing. But it's been an absolute pleasure here at Churchill Reserve to call our first game together, and hopefully we can have another one sometime soon. So from me, it's good night.
Thank you, Josip. It was an entertaining affair here as the St Albans players thank their loyal supporters on this near side. It did end 1-1 eventually. Enjoy the rest of your weekend in round 5 in NPL Victoria. And, Josip and I will see you next week for round 6. For now, at Churchill Reserve, it ends 1-1, and we wish you a good night.